Hi there, Mom, and welcome to the channel Out of the Dark Parenting, where I talk about parenting God's way as we look at Scripture. God is the ultimate parent, and so we should be able to look at Him and translate what He did to our children. If this is your type of thing, like and subscribe. I'm so glad you're here, and let's get into it. Today, I want to talk about the importance of having a forbidden tree. Now, think about the Garden of Eden. Why did God have a forbidden tree? He could have rigged the whole system. Everything could have been accessible to Adam and Eve. Why did He have a forbidden tree? I believe that it is because He is not a God who will control you. He is a God of free will. He wants His children to freely obey. He wants His children to obey because they love Him. If everything would have been accessible to Adam and Eve, they were free to do whatever they wanted in the garden. That's not hard. There's nothing to that. I mean, of course they're going to do the right thing because there's no option to not do the right thing. A forbidden tree really exposes the heart. God is God. He knows what's in the heart of man. He knew what was going to happen before it even happened. So I wonder if the forbidden tree is more for us, to help us expose what's in our children's heart. If we don't know what's in there, then we can't go in there and fish it out and work on it. Providing the forbidden tree really gives us parents an opportunity to see into our children's heart, to see something that we might not have seen before. The thing is God is not a God of control. Sometimes you'll hear people saying, oh, well, God is just this big tyrant and fire and brimstone. And yes, He is. He will follow through on His consequences. But this is the deal. He's a God of free will. He is not a God up in heaven who is going to just not give you any choices. I mean, He is a God of free will. We can choose to follow Him and we can choose not to follow Him. And isn't that just so sweet of God? And I think this is so foundational to us parents. Giving them choices makes it simple. You can do this or you can do this. And when they choose not to obey and then they reap the fruit of being disciplined or there's a consequence, then we can say, well, I gave you a choice and you chose the wrong one. It doesn't mean I don't love you, but there's consequences for your actions. Parenting God's way is not about control and dominance. That isn't how God operates. Now, He is a God of you will not mock me, and if you do, things will happen, but He always gave a choice. I love God's parenting way because He is so simple and so practical. I mean, He just a tree, just one tree. And it's not just that. He gave His children more than He asked of them. Have you ever noticed that? You can eat from the entire garden, but this one tree. So that is something in and of itself. We should be giving more as parents than we take. Or another way of saying that is we should be allowing more than we require. I'm not saying we don't require things of our children, but I'm just saying that our rules shouldn't be so monumental. I mean, who can remember all of that? And it's not just for our children, it's for us too. Keep it simple because I'm going to forget. And then my children, what if they remember what I said and I'm the one who forgot? Then I look like I don't know what I'm doing. And God was very clear in His directions of this tree. He said, this is everything you can have. This is the one thing you can't have. And when you touch it, there will be consequences. And then He followed through. For us, we can model that same behavior that God modeled. We can have a forbidden tree. We can allow more than we require. Like when my children wake up in the morning, you are free to get yourself something to eat. You must help your younger siblings. You must clean up after yourself. Which I would not say are rules. I would say is actually management of that space. Because God put Adam and Eve, God put Adam in the garden to cultivate it. And so our children should be managing all of the spaces that they're in, all of the gardens that they're in. And I think a lot of times the things that we make into rules are actually management of the space. Like clean up after yourself, that shouldn't be a rule, that should be management. Helping your younger siblings, that's management. Management of relationships. God, I mean, it sounds super easy, but it sounds complicated because we're so not used to it, right? We have so many rules in our culture. But God said one thing for them not to do, so it's very simple to understand. Bringing it back, it exposes the heart. Commandment number 5, honor your father and your mother so that your days may be long in the land I am giving you. Well, the opposite is true. Don't honor your father and mother, and your days will not be long in the land I am giving you. I mean, our children are free to choose. Look at Romans 13, 1-2. Submit yourself to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God. The authorities that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever rebels against that authority will reap judgment by God. So you can do this for blessing, or don't do that, and there will be consequences from God. Now, God gives a choice, right? James 2:20 says, faith without works is dead. We're saved, we can read our Bible, we can do this and this and this and this. Well, if you really love me, obey me. Like, faith without works is dead. John 14:15, if you love me, you will obey my commandments, right? Jesus said that. It's not enough just to be, saying we're a Christian, reading our Bible and stuff. We need to put action to those words, because that's where the real test is. Be doers of the word and not only hearers, and deceive yourself. So think about that for a second. We can deceive ourselves when we think, well, if I just know all the right things, but I don't really apply it, we can be deceived that way. Not understanding, right? I mean, when we're deceived, we don't know that we're deceived, right? In James 4:7, it says, submit yourself therefore to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. So for our children, it could be submitting to us. I mean, we're the leader over them. Hebrews 13:17, obey your leaders and submit to them. Obedience is on the outside. Submission is on the inside. It's submitting to that authority that's in their life. But a forbidden tree, it just exemplifies this. It really helps us parents see where the heart condition is. If you have gotten value out of today, like and subscribe to this video so that it can get shared and pushed out to even more mamas. Until next time, bye for now.